Hello, welcome to Loot Level Chat, the podcast from Loot Level Chill. I'm Mick Fraser, and I've got with me Kieran Singh.
Hello.
And Steve Chambers.
What's up?
And we've got no Lyle. Lyle's not here again. He's busy, I suppose. I imagine that he's doing something much more interesting than spending time with us.
He might grace us with his presence in a few months again.
I'm sure he'll pop up. Yeah, it's becoming sort of a once monthly thing. It's more of an advent then when Lyle's on. It feels more special when Lyle's around. So we in the absence of Lyle, we can't talk about the only game of note that we've been playing, which is the Adventures of Elliot, because only me and Lyle have been playing it, and I've only played about an hour.
I have played the demo. I'll put that much in there.
You played the demo, did you say?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Oh, it's a pretty ass game as well.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. But we'll save it for next week when Lyle's on, because he's reviewed it and he's got the skinny on it. So this week we're going to do something like we would normally do as a Patreon only thing. This would normally be like a bonus thing. In fact, we did this a couple of weeks ago, and I think we actually put this on the main channel in the absence of an episode one week, because we ranked all the Resident Evil protagonists. Which I think we did a marvellous job of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that.
We basically just decided that Leon was the best and all the others were slightly worse.
It's the only answer.
So today we're doing Assassin's Creed. We're going to go through, because Black Flag Resynced is on the horizon. So we're going to talk about Assassin's Creed protagonists, and we're going to rank them all the way from, well, all of them we're going to go through, I hope. Are we doing the China and India and Russia protagonists?
I've left those out. What I've done is I figured we'd do a ranking for the game and a ranking for the protagonists, and then we can sort of see the difference between the two, which I might be quite interesting.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. So Kieran will lead, because as usual, Kieran's got the homework. Me and Steve just show up.
As always, man.
Yeah, we just show up and get on with it. So we shall leave it for Kieran to take us through it.
I mean, I think we all know where we're starting here, to be fair, with Assassin's Creed 1.
Do we?
What do you all think?
Something is there that's doing my head in. I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Mick's just slowly losing his mind and seeing things from the animals.
I'll tell you what it is, because look at what I got today. Look, everybody, finally. Oh, it's clicked on again. I don't want it to switch on. I haven't set it up yet. I've got to switch to. I haven't set it up yet. But because I put it out and I've made room for it on the desk and I've rearranged, I dusted everything and I knocked my camera off and I changed everything around. And now it's all neat and clean. Yeah. The camera was weird, so it took me ages to get it back to where it was supposed to be. And now I've just got weird that's not normally here. So it's distracting.
Just keeps catching you off guard.
Yeah. So sorry, Assassin's Creed, Kieran.
Assassin's Creed 1. Yeah, what do you both think of that one?
It's up there.
I mean, it's been a while, man. I think I played it on release, and I've only gone back once in the years since.
Is it 16, 17 years, something like that now?
It's about that, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
So was it 2007, I want to say?
I think it was, yeah.
Because 2007 was a banger year anyway, and I'm sure Assassin's Creed was 2007. I think this... I don't know... Excuse me. I don't know how well it's held up, because I haven't played the first Assassin's Creed for a long, long time. But I know it was. I mean, you can't deny that it was incredibly influential.
Yeah,
and
it's set the tone, hasn't it?
And it's obviously spawned this behemoth of a franchise that has lasted for, despite the naysayers and the people who always attack it every year. It's always in the top sellers every year. It do you know what I mean? It does well every time.
It's always something to look forward to, man.
I always look forward to
an event. Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of Assassin's Creed, and I'm unapologetic about it. I think it's a great series. Had its problems, which we'll go through. Obviously, we've got we're going to go through the ups and downs. But I think one is how are we ranking them? Are we doing an A, B, C, D, or
S, A, B, C, D?
S, A, B, C, D. So
sticking you on the end.
I think because of its age. And because I honestly haven't played it in probably 10 or 12 years, I think we probably stick this in B and just say, like you could put it in A because of what it was. But I do remember, and I do know, obviously, because we know these things, that the first game it's much shorter than most of the others. It's much more linear. than most of the others. It did more interesting things, I think, with the modern day stuff versus the Altair stuff. But I think I would put it probably B, because we've got everything that it spawned to go through.
I mean, you had the weird flag collecting stuff as well, didn't you? Which has sort of grown out into the
all sorts, yeah.
But I remember that one just being a particular pain in the arse.
It's
I mean, they were in their feet, weren't they? Essentially.
Yeah, it's a proof of concept, isn't it? I think it's like it's the starting point, and I think, I played it 2 years ago when I went through all of them after Ted was born, because I had all that time.
I'd forgotten about your big replay.
Yeah, I had so much time in the night. I played through almost all of the games in a year, and I don't think that's I don't like old games, as I will say in basically every podcast that we do, but I don't think that's aged that badly, and I would put that in the camp of being old, because it's best part of 20 years old at this point.
But with the parkour in that as well, that also set a standard, because you could do that's a lot of like the side ejects and stuff were there, and over time that's come and gone as well. So arguably, it's actually got a better parkour than some of the later games.
Oh yeah, by far. It's a bit more stilted, but you can do more with it.
I remember things like the first time you jumped into, like you did the leap of faith. The first time that was the coolest thing in a game.
Syncing the map, that with those Ubisoft towers. That's been in like dozens and dozens of Ubisoft games since then.
Everyone only slags it off in Ubisoft games. Everyone else is allowed to do it, but if Ubisoft do it, it's a bad thing.
It's in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
It is, An idle.
Yeah,
it's literally Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has literally got like climbing towers. It's got yellow paint on the walls. And nobody cared. No one, it just didn't mind. It was
the Final Fantasy past this time.
A couple of other things it did really well. Social stealth, that wasn't really a thing in games very often before that.
True.
And the puppeteer control system, which got dropped.
Yeah, because it was Unity, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a really cool system.
What would you give it then, Kieran? Because you played it more recently than we have.
I think B's the right place for it, because I think it holds up. It's a good game, but it is more of its time, and it's.
Okay. Are we doing the protagonist alongside the game?
Yeah. What do you think of Altair?
I think Altair was great. I mean,
he was now cool.
Looking back now, again, it was a long time ago, and this is like I said, it's 2007. It's not that games had less story in 2007, but we didn't know where this was going to go, and like it was more about Desmond than it was about Altair, really.
Desmond was the character of the story was being told.
Yeah. So I don't know with Altair. Again, I'd probably put him in B, because he's kind of neither here nor there as Assassin's Creed protagonists go. There's some really good ones, and there's some really iffy ones, and I think
he's just an average.
Yeah.
So, a couple of B's for.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's pretty good, considering it's so old. It's
a
long time past now. Yeah. Assassin's Creed 2. So that was a massive jump over one. It added loads. It was way more variety. They had all the rebuilding the villa and the economy stuff.
I find it bonkers that Ubisoft haven't remastered the first couple of Assassin's Creed games yet. I don't see them doing 3, and we'll get to why. But I think 1 and 2 in particular, and possibly Brotherhood, but 1 and 2 in particular would be ripe for it. 2 was. Like you said, the jump from 1 to 2, just in scale and scope and what it did, probably, arguably, because we haven't gone through many of them yet, but arguably the best protagonist of the series.
I would say so.
Yeah. And I think he is the favourite. Ezio Auditore di Firenze he's the man. Great protagonist. His story had a bigger arc than everybody's, because obviously he
goes on a right journey, doesn't he?
He got to come back in Brotherhood when he was a much older and wiser guy, and I think that I think Assassin's Creed 2 is a phenomenal game. I think that even more than the first one is just really just seminal, and like there's so many games that wouldn't be if it wasn't for Assassin's Creed 2. So
that jump is like a cultural yardstick, isn't it? People say it's an improvement, like Assassin's Creed 2 to Assassin's Creed 1. That's how influential it was.
Yeah.
Some really some really cool stuff in it as well, like that. All that. I don't know if you remember the subject 16 hidden clues. Those little glitches, and then you found them, and they put together you found out more about the first civilization and all that.
And it was
the little short video clips, didn't you? Every now and again.
Yeah, it was so deep. There was so much to the game. It was. I mean, I think maybe this possibly is an S. Maybe.
I would put it as.
I'd go A.
You'd go A.
I think there's a one or two where they play better.
Okay.
Maybe not quite as good narratively, but they play better.
Well, to be honest, Brotherhood was kind of better. So if we go at S for this, we got no. I don't know. Yeah, no, A is fine. I'll bow to you guys. That's good.
And you got to batter the Pope. That's like a pretty good ending, wouldn't it?
What's not to love about a fist fight with the Pope?
And I assume Ezio's an S.
I think Ezio's an S. He is the guy.
Cool. Well, sticking with Ezio, then we've got Brotherhood, which everyone seems to prefer to.
I don't know if I prefer it. I think it was later, so it was a bit more refined. I agree with that. I think it does more with. I think it does good stuff with the character because he's older, and you've got that. Yep. You've got that sense that there's been an arc, and he's because this is middle-aged Ezio, isn't it? Yeah, and he's just more of a badass, and it's like I don't know. I don't know whether it's better, but it's definitely it feels newer. I don't know whether I can't think of any like particular standout moments from this that kind of blends in with 2 to me to a given.
It's the bad guy for me, Cesare Borgia, because it continued that sort of the story of the Borgias from 2.
Yeah, from 2. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I would go A for this as well, possibly.
I was thinking it's
kind of it's kind of a straight sort of trajectory.
They're in quite quick succession as well, weren't they?
They were,
yeah.
And then finishing off Ezio's story was Assassin's Creed Revelations, which I'm going to be controversial in and say I think mechanically it's the best. It's possibly one of the best games in the series. It's got the best parkour out of every game in the series.
Ooh, that's bold.
It's got the most control. Like Unity and Syndicate have nice animations, but Revelation's got the best control, and you've got the hook blade and everything to.
Yeah, because you're using that to scale walls left, right, and center.
There was some stuff
on the ropes and stuff.
There's stuff in Revelations that I wish they'd taken forward and didn't. Which, like for example, that like the hook blade and like that. I know they had versions of it throughout the games.
There's always something, isn't there? But it worked the best in Constantinople. Like the way it was built, it was very much going down. You're basically always going downhill for those main missions. So there was always something to swing along, and I think it just worked really well.
And
then you also had, didn't you have the weird like tower defense moments?
The bomb stuff was crap, but
that was. I think that was the thing that it didn't sour me on it, but that's the reason it's one of the few that I've ever played again. Like most Assassin's Creed, I've double dipped or more.
Yeah,
at some point. Whereas I never did with Revelations, even though I really liked it. But I did find that the story was a great one and done story, and it tied off Ezio's arc nicely. And
the story's amazing. At the ending, with you find out what happened to Altair, and you find out Ezio talks. I mean, spoilers for like a 15-year-old game or something, but Ezio speaks to Desmond like 3 times, warns him, and that's just. I think it was really, really good.
It was cool. Good.
Should we call it an A again?
Yep.
Yeah, let's stick with that.
Assassin's Creed 3, which I'm sure we've all got thoughts on.
Now, so Assassin's Creed 3, it's for me, it's probably it's in the 3 worst. I don't know if it's the worst, but there's three Assassin's Creed games that I don't like. I like all of them to an extent. Like I enjoyed this to an extent when I played it, but there's 3 that I'm not into as much, and this is one of them. And partly it's because it drags on. It's such a long game, and it's very linear as well. And it's long and it's quite linear in it, like the way it tells its story. I think Connor is possibly one of the dullest protagonists in Radun Hagedun, which is like his Indian name, but like it's just I don't know, or Native American name I should say.
It has a cool bait and switch at the beginning.
That's true. Yeah.
I like that a lot, and that was a very cool idea because you were getting your mindset. Oh, I'm going to be this guy, and suddenly
And I like Hatham,
and
Hatham's one of the few times that you play as not an assassin. Like there's 2 times in the series where you're not an assassin. You're a Templar, and he's one of them. And
he's a very cool, confident character, man.
He's very good, and obviously it ties directly into like the story in Black Flag. But yeah, the beginning of Assassin's Creed 3 I enjoyed more than the rest of the game. And when it had the bait and switch, I rolled with it because what are you going to do? You like that's the story. But I just found Connor to be much less interesting than most of them. It's got one of the best cinematic like trailers ever, where he's just like ripping through the redcoats, and stuff like that. Was really cool. It added some good stuff, like the combat. I liked.
Combat was good. The rope
quite a lot in 3.
The animation of combat looked amazing as well.
Yeah, and it was a lot. You always seem to be fighting more guys, and it had like it started to do that. I don't know if it was 3 that really started to do like the reactionary. I don't want to say Arkham because it's not really like Arkham, but it was much more reactionary.
More towards that.
Yeah, like counters.
You didn't have that stilted like everyone waiting in a queue to come and battle you.
Yeah.
Quite often people would be jumping in, so you'd have to react quickly.
Yeah. I did like it, but it's probably, arguably, it's the worst. But it's definitely one of the worst. In fact, one of the ones I consider to be the worst. Most people don't, so we'll get to that. But
it's weird you say about the linearity of it, because it actually introduced really big open areas for like, all the hunting and stuff.
But I think it's more.
It felt oddly barren at times as well. You'd just be swinging through trees. Like,
there was paths, wasn't there? It looked really open, and you could run through any of it. But if you wanted to do the parkour, which was the cool bit, you had to follow really, really set paths through the trees.
That's what I remember. I remember it being really stilted and being really like, oh yeah, I can go here, but there's cool to do, so I might as well just do the story. And the story just kind of went on and on.
It's not great.
And I think for me, and to be honest, I'm not interested in the setting. Like the American Civil War setting doesn't really do much for me. I mean,
I quite like it, but
not because the British are the bad guys. I like it and stuff, but I just didn't like it here because it didn't feel like it was exploring anything that was particularly new or interesting. It was.
What it did do well, actually,
can set
with the
tone quite a lot if you're interested in that bit of history that they've decided to show off.
Yeah,
if you're not interested, it can be quite hard to push yourself into
it.
But
that's Assassin's Creed all over.
Yeah, for all of them.
Yeah, what it did well with the narrative, I thought, was the modern day stuff. I think that's the best modern day stuff we've had in any of the games. Because Desmond was trained by that point, he knew how to fight and parkour and everything. So you had those missions where you were like, there's that one in the stadium where you're chasing the guy through a stadium. There's all that sort of stuff, which I thought worked really well.
Yeah, but, and it was like bleeding, wasn't it? It was like is that what they refer to?
Yeah, the bleeding effect. That's why I went in the Animus in the first place. Yeah, for the bleeding effect. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think any of these games are D tier on our list, if you know what I mean. But if you have to put one somewhere,
it's D tier in relation to the rest of them for us, isn't it?
I don't know. I think there's one that is definitely worse.
Oh,
but it's probably D as well.
Okay.
So I think this is D.
Fine. Yeah, I'm fine with D. I don't like Connor much, if I'm being honest. I don't know why he was
definitely going down.
And again, I think Connor probably goes in D as well. He's just a bit like his backstory is more interesting than he is. Like, do you know what I mean? Like raised by Native Americans, he looks badass. Like he's a good fighter. He's like all the cool stuff. It's just he's just boring.
He comes out of that really.
There's not enough personality in him. Like following Ezio and preceding Edward, there's just not enough in him that is anything to latch onto as a character.
He's just angry, isn't he? That is his thing. He's angry. Yeah. I always found it wild that he widely seems to be considered one of the worst ones, and he was one of the ones they brought back alongside Ezio and Cassandra in the VR game. I don't understand why.
I don't think I haven't played the VR game. That's not the one I mentioned earlier that I haven't played. There's one in the main that I haven't played.
Right, so
that must be Vomit Central trying to be an assassin in VR though, man. Just looking over like roof edges and stuff.
It's really good. It's genuinely a really good game.
Yeah, I just never got to it. Yeah, double Ds.
Double Ds. Now on to the one that's going to cause lots of arguments.
I don't think it's going to.
Assassin's Creed Liberation.
Oh, Liberation.
Oh God.
This is the only side game I put in, just because I thought it'd be fun to put a break in between.
What was the other one? There was another one, wasn't there? Freedom.
Oh, Freedom Cry, yeah.
That was really an expansion, and then they sort of
was an expansion, yeah.
Liberation, I really like.
This is just changing disguises the game, isn't it?
I hated that mechanic.
I hated that as well. I played about 2 or 3 hours, just went, I can't keep doing this.
I liked it. I liked Liberation. I played it a few times. I had it on Vita, I believe.
As a showcase for the Vita, it was insane. Like seeing that on a PS Vita and being able to play that on the train to work was really cool.
I like the main character. I like that story.
I like Aveline, yeah.
It's quite unique to the series. Like, it's the only one that's really... I know they've got female protagonists, but she was the only protagonist. It wasn't like you had a choice and they gave you some boys. You just were Aveline. And I thought she was a good character. I thought the setting was decent. And it was quite short. It was only, 15, 16 hours, I think. It wasn't a big game. I like this one. I don't think it's up there with the others, like with the best.
I'd put it as C personally.
It feels like a C.
Yeah, C's good.
Aveline, though.
Aveline's
I'd maybe go B for her.
Yeah, I think I'd go B for her.
See, I've not spent enough time with her, so...
She is quite cool.
The main thing is she's got cool hat. She's got a good attitude. Like, she's an interesting character. She's also, like I said, she's unique in that she's the only woman to have carried an Assassin's Creed game on her own, even if it is a small game, which seems... I think, is the protagonist of Hexa, is that a woman? Because it's a woman all over the box. But I don't know if that's the protagonist. And obviously, we'll talk. There's other female protagonists. But, yeah, I think she's probably B. She was quite cool.
Yeah.
I'll go with general consensus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on to the one that's going to cause a little bit of contention is Black Flag.
Well, it depends how you mean.
I think we have mixed views on this.
Well, give me your views first, and then I'll explain why I don't agree.
I don't dislike it. I don't dislike any of them. When I think of Assassin's Creed, I think of a few things. I think of social stealth. I think of like really big, dense cities, and I think of parkour, and parkouring around those cities. And this was like the 3 started to do it. And 4 was where they really moved away from basically all 3 of those things and lent really heavily into the ships, which I just don't like the ships. I want to be. I don't want to be a pirate in these games.
Point, man, is just the ship combat and the amount of time you just spend traveling. It's just
and tailing people.
Much.
It's just like because everything else. Like I like Edward. I think Edward's like up there when it comes to the protagonists. I think the music's really good. The
you
soundtrack.
Do love a shanty, don't you?
I love the shanties. The shanties are great. It's just, and I don't dislike the idea of the setting. It's just I don't want that in an Assassin's Creed game. I want something dense that I can spend my time running across rooftops and stuff, which you don't really get that much of in.
See, that was what I liked most about Black Flag, because there's like 15 other games that do that, and then like Black Flag had its own it's the golden age of piracy is just by far one of my personal favorite historical eras. Like, I love it. So like they were quite faithful to the fates of the real life characters that were in the game, like Blackbeard and
Kid,
Mary Read, and like Woodes Rogers and stuff like that. So that, for me, for one, that was the first thing that I loved, because I love that whole period of history. Like the show Black Sails, I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's absolutely fucking phenomenal. But so that was one thing. But the main thing that got me about the Black Flag was it has enough of an element for me of the creeping around and the assassin stuff. But it makes more sense because Edward isn't a trained assassin. Like, he was the first sort of protagonist who wasn't a trained anything. Like, he's just a dude that fell into the role. And it's all like, I know there's fate at work and whatever, but he basically just sort of fell into it. He picks up a dude's wrist blade and his coat, and then he's just an assassin. And it's like, so like that element of it I liked. But the main two things that I love about Black Flag, one is the setting, because it's gorgeous. Like, it's absolutely stunning. You're out in the open water, the atmosphere of the sea shanties and like the camaraderie of the crew, the way you can I know you can only dive in certain places, and they've changed that in Resynced, But like stuff like that, where you could dive into the water and look for stuff. You could beach at islands. You had to, and they started to add like hunting for materials, so because there was crafting involved, and it added, which again is me all over because they started to layer on the RPG stuff. But I get that it's not to everyone's cup of tea. But genuinely, like it's like outside of, so my probably hot take on Black Flag is that it's one of my favorite games, regardless of whether it's Assassin's Creed or not. Like it's in my list of all time. I love it. I can kind of concede that it's not a great Assassin's Creed game in that it deviates a lot, to the point that they sort of course corrected themselves back.
Yeah.
With later on in the series. I still think it's the best time of the whole lot. I still think that in terms of Edward, the writing is really great in it. The story and the characters are superb in Black Flag. Like I think the narrative is brilliant in Black Flag. And I love the setting. I don't know. For me, it's an S, obviously, but it's not for you guys. I would really not like it to go anywhere lower than an A.
It's the game that I remember it turned into a tick box game, because I'd be in an area and think, I've got to sail off in a minute. I want to get absolutely everything done in one area, so I haven't got to keep pottering backwards and forwards. So I'd literally just start clearing the map. I was doing it very much like a part-time job rather than enjoying it. I was just just get it done.
That's on you, though, man. You can't play the game for that. That's how you play games. And if you're like you said this before, you're a tick box guy. You have to get your completion.
Yeah, but this one was more so because I thought I don't want to fuck around with the ship to go and do it.
See, this is the other thing.
It was to get that out of the way.
How you didn't enjoy the ship stuff? Like
I just don't like the ship stuff.
The shanty and the.
I like shanties. Shanties are very good.
Shanties are fine. I don't want nothing against shanties.
I'd be fine. I'd be happy if it was just sailing without the combat and maybe less of the sailing.
See, I thought the ship combat was good and boarding was cool. Like,
it's good. I mean, it's good as far as that sort of combat goes. It's just I don't want to do it in Assassin's Creed. I want to be like sneaking in a group of nuns into.
Can I interest you in Skull and Bones by any chance?
No, because it's shit. That's just sailing. Like you can't really do anything else in Skull and Bones.
Yeah, so it's a great game, like you'd say, for a setting. It's unbelievable. It looks fantastic. It's a great time to potter around in, but it's just too much backwards and forwards in a bastard ship.
I'm keen to see what they do with Resync, because it will fix some of the stuff that I had issue with, like the tailing missions with the boat. They were fucking interminable.
Yeah, and they've changed a lot of stuff where like they've added mechanics to it. Like I said, now you can just dive wherever you want and explore, which is quite a big deal, because you were kind of like it never felt restrictive because it was of its time. So it was just like, I can dive here, and it was cool to dive where you could dive. But like in the modern era, it's nice to have that freedom. I don't know, guys. I can't back down on this one. It's not a bad game. Like I get it's not
a bad game.
I get it's opinions and stuff, but like.
No, this is objective. Remember, like we do these objectives.
Yeah, but like all the stuff you described that you don't like is what I love about it. And generally, it's what most people loved about it, which is why it's like largely considered one of, if not the best of the series. Like, I'm not saying that
we've not touched about the modern day stuff in it.
That's what I was about to bring up. Is that the other thing I don't like is that.
The first person wandering around the studio.
They sort of killed off the Ezio or the Desmond story and didn't really resolve it until a comic book years later. And then moved straight on to
that's the other thing, though, is because once Desmond was done, I could always take and leave the modern day stuff after the Desmond stuff. I know there was the other lass later on that she sort of had it, but Desmond was part of
that was it.
He was part of the story, and he was a big part of the story. And then after I always felt that they were like, shit, we're kind of in a corner here, because people are going to expect this, but how do we keep it interesting? And I don't think they could keep it interesting.
No.
And now they're
trying to shoehorn it in for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, Resynced doesn't have any of it. They've taken it out.
Yeah,
like the most recent games barely touched on any of the modern day stuff. So like I said, I would concede that it's an S for me and not for you. And I would also concede that if you were tick boxing what an Assassin's Creed game has, this has less of it. But also, this is kind of the game that had to walk so that things like Valhalla or Odyssey or whatever could run, because this game was very much an experiment for Ubisoft to try all of this stuff, really. Like, because there's a lot of stuff in this game is kind of proof of concept for what they do later, especially with the RPG side of things.
Where would everyone
It laid the groundwork.
What? So you'd put it as S, Steve. What would you put it as?
I'd be happy with it sitting in an A, because it's a good game, just with parts that I don't enjoy as much.
Yeah, I mean, I can take A.
Okay, I'll take A because I'm outnumbered 2-1 anyway. But no,
Edwards, though?
Oh, see, again, Edwards an S for me. I think he's of the probably one of the three best.
See, I'd put him as A, but mainly because I don't remember that much. I remember liking him, and I remember he's got I like the fact that he plays a little role late in one of the later games as well.
Yeah.
So he's not like just throwaway like probably 3/4 of them are.
Yeah.
But
he's like, he's
not as memorable as Ezio.
No, he's not as memorable as Ezio. He's a bit of a pisshead. And he's like a Welsh boy, and he's got his. Do you know what I mean? And he slots into this world really well with all these like giants of like real history. Because I think there's probably more historical characters in this than there are in any of the others.
Probably, yeah.
All at the same time, because this has got pretty much every notable pirate or pirate hunter of the time pops up in this somewhere. For me, he's an S. He's my favourite.
He's a lovable, cocky bastard.
Yeah, and that's what I
like.
He
is, but half of them are. We've still got at least 3 other lovable cocky bastards.
There's quite a few lovable cocky bastards.
He's the best one. I'm not saying he's not, but I don't think he's. I mean, even Ezio was a lovable cocky bastard for the first game.
Yeah,
and
he grows up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fair to be an A again then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So staying on the ship sailing route thing.
Yep.
I've just lost my train of thought.
Oh, the shipping lane.
Assassin's Creed Rogue. Is this the one that you've not played?
No, this is the one I hate.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I think he's touched upon why previously as
There's a very specific reason I fucking hate that dude. Do you know why, though?
I don't think anyone likes him, to be fair.
Do you know what it is? Because he's Irish, and they hired a guy to do a terrible Irish accent for 25 hours, instead of the guy who plays his friend, who's actually Irish, who just get that guy to play both characters, or hire an Irish guy. There's nothing worse. I cannot fucking stand in any game or any film. I listen to a lot of audiobooks these days, and it's one of the absolute worst things when someone can't do an accent and they do it for the entire runtime. It's like no one gives a shit. Like Christopher Nolan is releasing the Odyssey. No one's Greek in the Odyssey. It's going to sell cops. Like no one, just do that. This is why so many films just have people do a British accent, because
I knew this was coming tonight, man. A
British accent is kind of a neutral accent. It's just an old accent. There's loads of dialects you can piss about, whatever. But it's like it's an easy accent, and then you get all these people trying to do Scottish and Irish and whatever, and it's like it's terrible. And Shay's not even a bad character. Like he's interesting. He's a Templar. He's not really he's cool. I just can't fucking listen to him talk for 20 odd hours. I cannot manage it. I couldn't get through Rogue because of listening to the awful voice acting. And I'm sorry to whoever did it. It's terrible.
I think it's widely considered that he's not only one of the worst, but the voice acting is, generally agreed to be atrocious, I think.
It's atrocious. And it ruined the game for me. So I had no nostalgia. And it's the same setting as Black Flag. So ostensibly, I would love it. Like you would assume.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same type of setting, isn't it? But it's more like North. It's like Black Flag, but without the charm. It's got
no charm whatsoever. It's just not very good. And I dropped off it after about 5 or 6 hours because I just couldn't fucking stand listening to Shay Cormac talk. It just ruined. And it's the one that got remastered. Didn't they remaster Rogue out of all of them?
Yeah, because it was a cross-gen one, so it got like a segment of remaster. It was basically like an upscale. Yeah.
But I have very strong memories about it, gameplay-wise, particularly.
It's basically Black Flag, but with slightly less
Wasn't there like an escape from an icy sinking ship at one point? I think that's the only thing I can remember.
The big bit is because he's an assassin at the start of the game, and then he gets disillusioned when I think they send him to Portugal or somewhere to steal a piece of Eden, and when he steals it, it triggers an earthquake, which is an actual earthquake that happened in the area at the time apparently. But yeah, he gets pissed off at them because they made him do that, and then they shoot him.
Thinking maybe he's the bad guy then, essentially, even though he's an assassin.
Yeah, so you're playing as Templar for most of Templar in training for most of the game. But it's the only good thing I like about it, and again, spoilers for, I mean, Mick, I assume you're not going to play it anytime soon if you say that much, is the ending of it. And I don't know if you know about the ending, but the ending of the game is the start of the next one. And I love it when
I like when they do
blur it together.
Yeah. I like when they do that with like Halo Reach, and I like when they do stuff like that.
Yeah. So you literally do the assassination that then kicks off the start of the next game. But
so the game is probably, I don't know if it's a D or a C, but if
which is the worst one in the series? Yeah.
If Assassin's Creed 3 was a D, this is a D because it's worse than that.
Yeah.
And this is the worst protagonist. I'd make an E category just for Shay Cormac.
Yeah, I mean, I agree on both of those.
That's the one I haven't played. Like I played maybe, I don't even think I said 5 hours, but I don't even think it was that. I think I got off the beach at the beginning. I don't know. I didn't get as far as him becoming a Templar or anything like that in the story. I literally was just like, I can't fucking do this.
He's just not very likable. It's just
I switched it off.
A charm. Yeah. Right. Assassin's Creed Unity, which again, like I said, the start of that game when you're playing as little boy Arno, and he sees, or he goes in and sees the aftermath of his dad getting assassinated, knowing that's like the end of the previous game. I thought that was really cool.
That was the final mission from previously, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Unity is now that it's patched and it's not as buggy as it was, and you've got the 60 FPS
it's
boost
great.
mode on.
I
actually think mechanically is the best one.
I had some incredible bugs when I played Assassin's Creed Unity. Yeah, I had a bug. I had the bug where the eyeballs just floated in the air, which is the one that became sort of a meme before.
Classic
meme, thing.
Yeah.
And I had stuff where people would just sort of appear and their hair wouldn't be there, or like it was just, I had the worst set of bugs, and I didn't like Unity very much.
See, I didn't play Unity until much more recently.
This is the one that had the multiplayer in.
That no one used.
Yeah, no one played the multiplayer.
The parkour in this one is absolutely killer in terms of how it looks. It might not be as pliable as previously, but it looks fantastic and so smooth and agile.
I think it's the best mechanically out of every game.
It felt good. I remember not really getting into it as much because it felt too similar to 2 and Revelations and Brotherhood. Like the setting, Arno felt very much like we're doing XTO again. Like mechanically very good, because again, this is a series that leaps forward every time. Like every time they try new stuff, they're doing it with Resynced. Resynced is proof of concept for whatever they're doing after Hex. Let's be honest, whatever they do that works in this is going forward.
Yeah.
And Ubisoft do that all the time. And I think Unity was a good game. I just didn't really, it didn't light my fire. And it didn't because after Black Flag, again, this is one of those things where I was like, are we just going back to like Renaissance France or whatever? Like, why? Like, I wanted it to do. I was at this point where I was writing articles for people, and the articles were always like, "Where next for Assassin's Creed?" And it was always like, "Let's go here, let's go here," and then it was
always Egypt, wasn't it? They always wanted
Egypt.
Japan was the one I wanted.
and like I remember writing about this and being like, maybe we could do modern day, which came pretty close to me calling Watch Dogs, to be fair. But like,
good shout.
But this is what I was. This is where I was with the series, because I was properly in deep with it, but at this point because of Black Flag, I'd like had Rogue and didn't like it, so I was like ready for Unity to do something that felt different, which they did with the next game. But this one, I just was like, this just feels like I'm just being Ezio again, except Arno's not as likable. And
I just like the fact you had a return to like a dense urban setting again.
Just like Hitman,
Because that's
mission
what I
style?
want from an Assassin's Creed, like Kieran does.
And I do remember that Unity. Yeah, well, I want that from Assassin's Creed. Like, don't get me wrong. That's not. I didn't like Black Flag because it didn't have the dense city stuff. I just liked Black Flag because it was really refreshing, in my opinion. Like that was what I felt. It was a new direction. But like, I didn't mind the return to like. I pretty much love every element of an Assassin's Creed game. Like, I don't mind where it is. Like, that's not the thing. But for me, it just didn't feel like Black Flag, for better or worse, was incredibly fresh after playing Assassin's Creed 3. I thought that Assassin's Creed 2 was incredibly fresh after playing Assassin's Creed 1. I didn't think 3 was good because it had like you were outside a lot and you were in the frontier and you had that element of it and the animals and things like that. But the game was boring. And then this Unity for me sort of was just a bit like it had some fantastic parkour. I think this was the one where they like tweaked the engine quite a lot, if I recall.
You could parkour down, which wasn't a thing before that.
And you could do pass through on like the buildings.
Yeah.
That was in the first time in 5, wasn't it? Where he would just like go through houses and like absolutely amazing, like really fun, really good. But I don't remember the story, and I remember the story of most of these games, but I don't remember the story. I just remember that Arno was boring. Like he just felt like Ezio again.
That lets it down. It's the story and the character.
And the setting wasn't great. But it's not a bad. Like I'm not suggesting this goes anywhere lower than B necessarily, but I do think it's probably B.
I'd probably go a little higher.
I'd go A for this
one. Put it in the A, but then character-wise, maybe go down to
C. The only reason I wouldn't put this, and again, this is probably where our tastes may diverge, because from this point onwards, the game's kind of just, the quality just slowly goes up all the way for me. Like I don't have any drop points after Assassin's Creed Unity. Like there's some weaker than others.
I'd be coming up, I think.
Yeah, and some are arguably a little bit bloated, which we'll talk about. But like, I think, for me, Unity was a bit of a low point, like 3 was.
I think the thing that it did really well, that they've not really done since, I think they tried it with Mirage, but it didn't really hit the same way, was they basically turned it into Hitman. If you remember those missions, there was multiple ways in and out of like things. You could hide in like a coffin in a graveyard and wait until someone came down and then jump out and kill them like that. That stuff was really cool. I think, like I said, mechanically, I think it's
a shame that's gone away, man.
Yeah. I don't know why they keep we'll get onto the RPG ones in a bit, but I've got strong feelings about those.
Yeah, I think this is a B, personally, because if you made me keep Black Flag as an A, Black Flag was better than Unity.
Yeah, fair.
I'll pop it as B, and then I would say Arno's a C. I don't think he's the worst.
C,
he's not the worst. He's just not very.
He is quite fun. He's just not very.
He's got some cool outfits.
And then we've got Syndicate.
Yeah. So Syndicate was like the last of the ones before we just turned into. And this is the thing. Like, this is a funny point, because the reason I like the RPG ones is because they're just big open world RPGs, and that's my jam all day. And like, I get that for other people is less. And so like Syndicate was kind of the last time it was old school
dense cities, social stealth. I think it had social stealth. It had the parkour, it had the grapple gun thing.
Yeah.
It was wide enough for racing.
Yeah, the 2 protagonists were cool. I think the setting was good. I think it was a bit of a weird Victorian London, but it was good.
I loved it, yeah.
I think the setting is one of the best settings.
Yep. Yeah, love the setting in Victoria.
And that's not just because it's Victorian London, but because it's just it's really good. And if you play it now, I played Syndicate a year or so ago. It's really good. It really plays still. Jacob and Evie Fry are great.
They're really fun. They're really fun protagonists.
By including like all the grapple stuff, it kind of took away from a lot of the parkour. Because
the streets were so wide, wasn't it?
Fly yourself straight up Batman styly, which is still fun.
Yeah, but I liked it because the buildings were a lot taller than the stuff that you got in.
True.
In 2, like when you're scaling like Big Ben or whatever it was, you need something, otherwise you're going to be there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. But it just felt strange in an Assassin's Creed game. It was like,
yeah, I mean, it was goofy, but
yeah,
I think it was really good. Like I said, the version of London was really good.
I thought the combat was really fun in it. I thought the parkour stuff was good. I thought the storyline was great with like the street gangs and
there's a good mix of mission types as well.
They'd sort of done away with the boring like eavesdropping tailing missions by then, and it's quite maligned, Syndicate, for some reason. And I think it was because and again this sort of feeds into what they started doing afterwards. I think a lot of people were getting sick of it by then, because it was like, oh, you've changed the setting, but it's basically the same. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but
there's a bit more nuance than that, though, isn't there?
There is, but in like the broader gaming, like in opinions, this was the point where people really started to sour on the series.
Yeah,
with Syndicate, and they tried to bring it back with the Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla. Yeah. And they did for some people, but like the older fans, like the more diehard Assassin's Creed fans, prefer the older stuff still. And like I get why I don't, because it went more my preference. But for me, I don't understand why Syndicate was so.
It was such a good game. Like there's a soundtrack,
good DLCs as well, man, with the Jack the Ripper stuff.
The Ripper, yeah. I think it's a good game. I think it's solid. I think it's at least a B.
I'd go A for this one. I think this is mechanically the best one in the series.
I'm sure you've said that 3 times. You said that about Unity.
They're all mechanically the best.
Well, Unity's Unity and Syndicate are the same thing, aren't they? I think this one's got the it's got the horse and carriage and the other stuff as well, which I think goes for
I think this one plays more or less the same as Unity, but I think the setting is cooler.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with A for Syndicate.
You're having your travelling base on the train as well. That's always pretty cool.
It's just
and the bad guy was good as well. Do you remember that? He's like the mustache twirling.
Yeah. It's such a great aesthetic as well. Like the way they look. Like it's just. Yeah.
And it also did did the jump to World War One.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You had that bit where you go and suddenly you're like, oh, I'm actually skipping around in time here as well, not just as plot points. Just
that was cool.
That's fair. It's an A. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
What about the twins?
I think they're probably A. I think they're great. I think they've got great personality. I know they're different characters, but they come as a pair.
It's the moments where they get together and play off each other that I really enjoyed. There was definitely like that sibling bullshit going on.
Yeah, I really like Jacob and Evie, both of them. I played as Evie the first time I played it, because you didn't switch between, did it? You picked.
You could pick. I think there were certain missions where you might.
Certain missions.
Yeah. I remember you couldn't be. Yeah, because I remember in Odyssey
different weapons, didn't they?
You could pick for the whole story, but
you'd always know that if you're going as Jacob, it's like, okay, we're going in brute force if we need to.
She had a slightly different play style, if I recall, which sort of made you think.
Get a few perks for stealth, It was the weapons. The weapons were really cool because it was all like those Victorian concealed weapons, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
like
he had like knuckle dusters, and she had a cane. Yeah,
dueling cane and stuff. Yeah, I think it's good.
And a kukri or whatever they're called. That was I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, A. I think they're
A. And now. Assassin's Creed Origins.
The changeover.
Yeah,
Origins
will change.
So Origins is one of my least favorites. I think the direction they were moving in, I liked, because again, I like an open world RPG. So we'll clash on that, but it's fine.
I like them as well, to be fair.
But I do think Origins felt like it's the weakest of the ones that do that, I think.
It's in the middle for me.
Yeah, but I liked it. Again, the setting is it's nice, but it's a whole lot of fucking desert all the time. And like do you know what I mean?
There was a lot of horse riding going on.
Yeah. And I didn't mind it so much later in like Mirage, because it was such a short game and they tried some new things. But for me, Origins was just a bit of a slog. I liked the main character and his motivation and stuff, and I thought
he was good. Really good performance by him.
Yeah, adding like the photo mode the way they did, where you could take photos and pin them to the map, which is still something you can do, was quite interesting. again,
they brought in the like tourism mode as well, didn't they? Where you could actually go around as a whole separate thing and just learn about the world. That was a cool idea.
Nice
And
idea.
everyone probably did for about 20 minutes. Went, that's cool.
I don't think I ever did it. And I do like that it added those like the weapons and like that, like the loot system and stuff, which
I think it was those changes that carried me through a lot of this. And maybe I look back on it and see it maybe as a bit of a glossier game than what it actually is. I think that changing combat style and the looting and was such a big change for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I think.
And then you'd have I can't remember what the guys were called who would be on the map. Oh God.
They were in each game. There was a variation of them each game.
Like the mercenaries.
They're basically mercenaries. You go around, and obviously they're all leveled up to a given point. So if you stumbled into one early on mid-fight, they're gonna beat the living crap out of you.
Yeah.
So that sort of power shift later on, when by the end of the game you're the one going and actively hunting them.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
That's what's become the touchstone for these games now, is the power.
These new ones,
the power creep. I don't know, actually. I don't know if this is as good as Odyssey, actually, for me, if I'm honest. I mean, I don't know if this is worse than Odyssey, actually. I think Odyssey might be, because I would put this higher than Odyssey.
I'd put this above Odyssey.
Odyssey's so bloated, and like we could talk about it, because I don't think it's bad, but it's
too huge.
It's too big.
Origins, I think it was the beginning, like a second beginning. Like after they'd gone back to Syndicate and Unity, and they brought back what I really loved about this series. They deviated so massively, which not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like the stealth, for example. We'd gone from being able to walk through a crowd of like 150 people and sort of sneak around just by blending in, to the only stealth you had was press B in a bush.
Yeah,
and as long as you were low down, you were invisible. And it's like,
isn't that Black Flag stealth?
That is Black Flag stealth, but in Black Flag you couldn't press B to crouch. You just did it automatically.
You just walked into a bush.
So it had some stuff
What
I like.
I've never wanted these games to do, and none of them ever have done it properly, is have because a lot of these games, even the new ones, when it comes to actually assassinating the target, you have to attack the target and then you have a fight or a boss fight I just wanted them to do pure assassination like Hitman. I wanted you to be able to snipe the target with a bow and arrow from across the fucking map,
and it's done.
And it's done, and that's your job done. Because it was always like our stealthy assassin, sneak in, like knock out the guards, use smoke bomb, blah. But then you have to have a fucking sword fight every time.
Well, it's because you have to take their blood,
like the blade in the crowd that walks past. Could you? It was like,
I get it. It's just it always just annoyed me that like
they took that out.
Yeah.
They could have done it for this one.
I don't mind where we've got Origins, really. I think it's probably B.
My favourite bit was the logo bit at the end. I don't know if you remember that they dropped the two bird skulls onto the floor, and that's what forms the logo, the Assassin's logo.
I can't remember.
It's so stupid.
They also introduced the more fantastical stuff with the gods and things, didn't they?
As DLC, though, wasn't it? Mostly.
I think are there some bits in the main game? I remember like a giant snake section, but I can't know if that's just like hallucination.
In the game since, like usually the more fantastical stuff is the add-ons.
I think it might have started. I think it did. This was the start of bringing in the Isu gods stuff that started cropping up. I don't remember much about it, but
I remember that giant war elephants.
The other thing that I didn't like is this was the first one where you could stab someone in the neck and they don't die because you were 2 levels below.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Which I just turned off in Shadows because fuck it.
You couldn't turn that off in this either, could you?
No, not
that
back
wasn't
then,
an option. It was just
turn it off.
You're fighting this fucking guy now.
Yeah, you couldn't turn it off until Shadows, and then they allowed you to turn it off. And I did. It's such a stupid fucking thing.
I put this one as B because I don't dislike it more than some of the other ones.
Yeah,
it's got some stuff about it that I like. I do quite like Bayek.
It's got to sit higher than Odyssey for me.
Yeah, that's probably.
Oh yeah, I'm quite surprised at that. I thought you two would be really into Odyssey.
I really know. Well, we'll talk about it obviously, but no.
B for Bayek.
B for Bayek. Good. Bayek's good. Bayek's a
like him.
Character. Yeah, good voice actor. Great voice actor.
Really good.
Because he was like super moralistic as well, wasn't he? He was doing it all.
He's a good guy.
He's a guardian thing. I can't remember the word for it. Do you remember? He's like the local guardian,
like
for the village.
constabulary.
Yeah, there was a name for it. I can't think what it was, but he was like, I liked him. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I like Bayek. Yeah, B for Bayek's good.
Odyssey then.
Yeah. So Odyssey,
Too
like I
fucking
said,
big.
yeah. So Odyssey, don't get me wrong, I love Odyssey. I did play like 90 odd hours of it. I didn't finish it because it's that fucking big.
No one has, Nick.
No.
I think the problem with Odyssey, like, I like the characters, I like the story. I think it looks gorgeous. I think the Greek setting is beautiful. I think it does combat really well. The mercenary systems is fun. I think the hidden stuff in the world is good, is fun to track down.
Yeah.
I think the mystical monsters in the world is an interesting side of it. The problem for me with Odyssey is one is the level gating, which I'm not a fan of. I've never 100%. Liked that. I think the level gating is just bonkers because they give you this massive world. You can't go there yet. Oh, you can't go there yet. You can't go there yet. And then, I've run out of story. Can I go there now? No, go grind for 15 hours. Yeah. And it's like, that is just bad design. And that's what kills Odyssey for me. Like, I don't think it's a bad game in terms of, like, it's one of the weakest of the series, I think, because of the bloat. Mechanically, aesthetically, narratively, absolutely fine. I like it. Like, I'd probably put it at B for all those things. But then
it just gets dragged down, doesn't it?
It's such a fucking enormously, and it was one of those games that's so big, I just ended up fucking about every time I played it. Like, I just got bored of following the path, and I'd go and do other stuff. And Cassandra's one of my favourite protagonists.
She's great
of the series. I think Axios is a bit boring and like generic, but I thought Cassandra was cool.
Because this was the first time we could switch between the two.
You pick at the start, don't you?
Beginning, yeah, and then the other one is like becomes
the bad guy.
Yeah. And again, that worked better because Axios was easier to hate than Cassandra was the bad guy. But yeah, I think Odyssey is probably C. I don't think it's D. I don't think it's D.
It's the only one that I've never finished. I played through all of them, completed all of them at least once, and that's the only one I've just never been able to do because
it's one of a couple I didn't finish. Obviously, I didn't finish Rogue. Yeah. I didn't finish Unity, and I didn't finish Origins.
It felt to me like it was designed to sell you microtransactions because
there's so much stuff. There was so much there, wasn't there?
I might have finished the story of Odyssey, but I know that I just used to go in and go hunting the mythical beasts. And
you had to grind for like, because it wasn't just your weapons you were grinding for. It was just armor. Then it was your ship. You had to make sure your ship was able to.
And this is the thing. So the ships. After Black Flag was done with the ships are boring in Assassin's Creed because you just can sail. There's no combat. Do you know what I mean? It's you just.
Odyssey had combat, but it was without the weight of the cannons, wasn't it? It was bow and arrows, and it was like, this feels really like piddly.
Ubisoft sold boosters for skip the game and buy boosters. Oh yeah,
I can see why people bought them because it's fucking horrible if you haven't got that because it takes so long to do anything and you're constantly switching weapons. There was no sort of like attachment to anything because 3 seconds later you're going to get something that's like a purple.
The loot,
3 levels higher.
The loot was OTT.
It's too much of it.
I did like Odyssey because I again, apart from really Rogue, I like all of these games, but I think it's probably C. I do think
C.
It's not D, but
no, I think C's safe because it does certain things very well. But overall, it's just such a fucking and you know they.
I've been so hyped for this game as well, man. Off the back of Origins, I was well up for it.
They didn't quite learn. They didn't quite learn enough lessons in the next game, but I do think the next game is better.
What about what's her name? Cassandra,
yeah.
I assume we're taking her as she is the canon one, isn't she, I guess?
Yeah, I think Cassandra's an A.
She is a lot of fun.
I think she's a good character. Really good. I think she's interesting.
See, I don't remember her that well, character-wise.
Yeah. She's basically like a female Ezio at times, isn't she? She's like another lovable rogue, but one of the good ones.
Cocky bullshit, yeah.
Yeah, and it's more likable when you're her because when they do it with that, is it Axios? I keep saying Axios.
I think it is, yeah.
But he's just comes across as a bit smarmy. So I
never played it as him.
Yeah, I played it.
Couldn't bring myself to.
I didn't play as much of it as him. I just did it to see what it was like, see if it was different. But he's more smarmy, and he again comes across as a little bit of a Team Ezio, and because a lot of the characters in Assassin's Creed are like this, but when Cassandra does it, I don't know if it's because she's a woman or what. The character's more believable. The tragic stuff with the brother is more believable if you play as her than it is if you play as him and you're dealing with Cassandra. So I think, and again, like Kieran said, she's kind of the canon protagonist. And I thought the pitch battle stuff.
You got dialogue choices as well.
Yeah, you got dialogue choices in this
because they weren't there in Origins, were they? That was just a very straightforward linear narrative.
I think this was the first one. I like the pitch battle stuff with the Spartans. I thought that was quite good, even though it was a bit janky.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think she's an A. I think the game's a C and Cassandra's an A.
Then what I would consider the best of the RPG one by quite some distance is Valhalla.
Mm-hmm. This is a fantastic game. I love Valhalla.
Really good.
Absolutely love it.
Cool. See, this one scored the lowest because I remember looking at it ages ago on like Open Critic and that. This is the one that scored like lowest, and Odyssey was the highest, and I just can't get my head around that.
What the fuck?
I know, I don't get it.
I gave this like a 9.5, I think, when I reviewed it, because I reviewed it a while back, and like I love Valhalla. I think it's fantastic.
Really good.
I think again, absolutely stunning world.
One of the best settings.
It's kind of too big when you look at the map. Like it is a massive world.
I remember you had that opening section when you were in Norway.
Yeah. And then you go.
It must have been like 12-15 hours of me dicking around there, and then its title drop. I was like, "Holy shit! This is literally just like the intro area."
It's a gorgeous setting. I think I like rowing up the rivers. I thought the raiding was a great mechanic. Again, it's not. There's not a huge degree of stealth and subterfuge in it.
It did bring back this stealth, which is
I
what
like the way
he put the hood up,
and he was like a fucking huge guy, but he put his hood up.
Yeah.
And like you could, like I remember, you could pet the cats and you could go fishing, and they added like all this like time wasty ancillary stuff, I guess. But it fleshed out the world. The loot system is real.
It brought in unique weapons, didn't it? So that they were unique, and as you upgraded them, they started to look better, and they got new stuff, new perks and things.
You kept them. Yeah, you could get like they added like tattoos and hairstyles.
You could dual wield everything. You could have 2 shields if you wanted to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. So good. And I thought the protagonist stuff was good because you were just the same character this time. You were Eivor, whether you were girl or boy Eivor. And it changed like certain elements of the story and the dialogue and things depending on which one you were, but it wasn't a major departure each time.
The whole backstory intro is always very cool.
Yeah, it does good history. Again, it's got some good. There's a lot of stuff from like real history. I think the become an assassin thing in Valhalla was a little bit sort of glossed over. It was just like, here's a knife, carry on, and like. There wasn't a great element of like becoming.
No.
But I do think Valhalla it's really good. I don't know if it's my favorite of the RPG ones because Shadows knocked my socks off, but I do think Valhalla's up there.
Looking at what else we've got in like the various different tiers, I would probably put Valhalla as a B.
You don't think it's an A?
So that feels a little harsh, Nick, dropping a B on it.
Maybe we should put AC2 as an S and then put this as an A.
Yeah, because AC2's probably is the best one. And we haven't got a game in S, have we? Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, if there's an S, it's that.
All right, so we'll put that as an S and Valhalla as an A.
Yeah, I think so, because Valhalla is better than Odyssey and Origins.
And it had a good end, like when it finally ended, like, because there was like 4 different endings, wasn't there? Because it was basically a live service.
Yeah.
But it had a really good, some of the modern day stuff with Layla. I know it's not as good as Desmond, but it does do some quite interesting stuff, especially with like the ending where Basim basically comes out of the tree of life or whatever it was and locks Layla in there. And it's, I don't know. I thought it was really cool. And then it set up the next game quite nicely.
Excuse me. And then they sort of just more or less did away with the modern day stuff, really. After Mirror,
it's not in Shadows.
It's in Mirror.
What are we doing for Eivor?
Eivor's probably a B. I don't think they do anything wrong. I don't think they're particularly memorable, other than just being Vikings, and Vikings are cool. And again, I normally would play. I always play female protagonists if there's a choice, but I think the male Eivor is really good. Like usually, like with Shepherd and things like that, I'm always like Fem Shepherd, Cannon Shepherd and things. But like Eivor is good as either.
And they swap during the story, don't they? You can set it so it swaps when you have the flashbacks to Asgard, and that's almost like
the Asgard stuff.
Whatever one you are. The other one was like the historical or the god version, which was quite a nice touch.
They also brought in that slightly odd roguelike mode, didn't they, later on as well? Have you gone to that? Where it'd just be roguelike runs through, can't remember how.
When you were in Asgard?
I think it was a separate mode entirely.
Was it the expansion that they released?
Yeah,
that was all
which had that in there,
because
which was kind of a whole new way for them to a whole new road to go down.
I played one of the expansions. I played like a druid expansion.
I played that one, yeah. I got a scythe, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think I played the others, but yeah, Valhalla, solid. Eivor, solid.
Mirage.
I fucking love this game, man.
I know you do, yeah.
Yeah, it was because it was almost like the perfect size in terms of both map and also just time to get through it all. It's the one I've actually platinumed out of all of them.
What I liked about
to go back in.
I liked Mirage. I do think it's a decent game. I like that it's shorter. Of all the Assassin's Creed I've ever reviewed, I think I scored at the lowest.
Really?
Yeah, I like that. I like that it's a shorter, tighter game, but I thought that what's there still felt a bit repetitious at times, like especially towards the end of the game.
I see that, and it was a bit of a return to earlier games as well.
Yeah, and I
like that about it.
And part of the reason I disliked it is because I don't like Basim as a character. I thought he was just a fucking stupid
He's just
character.
a bit meh.
I thought he's
the bad guy. He's the bad guy, Valhalla. I don't want to play as him. I want to play as him.
And like his whole, like the whole setup of him becoming like doing like the training stuff with him was so fucking dull.
How did you find the overall narrative?
I thought so. This is so. I thought the narrative was all right. Like I thought, there was a twist which I saw come in. Like Basim's a bit of a dick all the time. The ending confused me at first because I can't even really fully remember why, but I remember feeling like, oh, that's done.
You can tell it was DLC for Valhalla originally because that ending won't make sense unless you've seen all the endings in Valhalla.
Yeah, and that's probably why I didn't get it. So
I didn't want to go too spoilery. Obviously, it's being a relatively recent one, and didn't want to, if anyone is going to go for it, because it's almost a nice introduction to an Assassin's Creed as well, because it is a more compact experience.
Look, all these are available on pretty much Game Pass or PS Plus, so like, they're worth getting. And I would tell people if there's anyone who hasn't played an Assassin's Creed at this point, maybe dip into Mirage and see if you like the feel of it.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't base like purchasing choices on whether you like Mirage or not. But it is bite sized compared to the others. I don't think it's a great game. I think it's all right. I think it's a decent action adventure game. It had some good, like Basim's got some good like tricks and skills. He's got like gadgets and things. Like if I remember, there's like smoke bombs.
In its way, you can do the plan out of how something's going to work as well. We'd have like the little shadow showing you how it's going to go.
Glitch,
yeah. You could be like kill him, and then like boom, and then he does it.
Watch it play out. Yeah.
So it had like that cool element of it. So yeah, I don't dislike it, but I don't think it's great. I think it's good because again, I didn't dislike it.
I'd be chucking it in B at least.
I'd say B. Just to me, it felt a little bit missold at times because they kept going on. Oh, it's a return to what it used to be, and I think what it proved to me is that even if you had like a dense city with like the parkour system that they've built, that engine just doesn't work for it, and I don't think it's going to work for Resynced either. It's not.
They did tweak it later on as well, didn't they? They did the update to change the parkour.
Yeah, but
it wasn't
it still feels stilted, and it still doesn't feel right to me. It still feels like they're shoehorning in parkour into a system that fundamentally isn't built for it or doesn't work well with it.
See, I'd have gone C for Mirage on base, but since Steve loves it,
it's decent.
I'm happy with it in B. And again, it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's you.
I think that's what drew me as much as anything else. When you've come off the back of those 3 huge RPG ones, it was nice to go, you know what, sub 30 hours, I've seen everything you want to show me. Perfect.
Yeah, I think I finished it in like 17 hours, 18 hours.
not
Yeah,
long at all,
main story is sub 20.
And then I was done. So yeah. All right, happy with that.
Basim's a D, I assume.
Basim, I don't like Basim at all. I thought the character was a whiny twat. I thought his the twist was obvious from minute one.
Is this about his companion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was blatant from minute one what was going on there. And I just found him to be an awful character to play as. He makes stupid decisions that wound me up.
He's more notable in Valhalla than he is in his own game.
Which is weird.
But yeah, I think he's D. I think he's a poor protagonist.
Yeah, I've got no argument against that.
And then on to Shadows, which I don't know. I mean, that one's pretty recent. I don't know what everyone thinks about that one. I was sort of like lukewarm on it.
No, I love Shadows. I think it's amazing. I really, really like Shadows.
It's one that I keep going back to.
I think they learned lessons from Odyssey and Valhalla in the way they structured Shadows. I think they also borrowed elements from the way Sony does that kind of open world, where they're like, so Odyssey and Valhalla both suffer a little bit from big, open, beautiful areas with not a lot to do in between places. And I think they peppered Shadows with a lot more stuff.
Yeah,
like scattered around. I thought it takes too long to get to the point where you unlock Yasuke. It's like 18 hours or something before you've got the other protagonist. And I think they overdo in Shadows. There was some stuff I couldn't be asked to keep having to do, like where you have to go back to the hub area and you can rearrange the buildings and upgrade. And I was like, I can't be asked with this.
It's a nice idea if you're into that. If not, it just feels like a fucking chore.
And I think there were some elements of it where it felt like a chore, if I'm honest. I think the gameplay, the graphics, the mechanics, I think the movement and the parkour element, I think the combat's super good. It's not as good as I wanted it to be. I remember when I first played it, I was like, this doesn't feel like I expected it to feel. And I think I expected it to feel like Tsushima, which is why. Because I went into it
again, isn't it?
Yeah. And I do think it's good. It took me a little while to, because I think I'd been playing Tsushima again before I reviewed Shadows, and I didn't dislike it, but I was like, it took a couple of hours before I sunk into it, and then you have to sort of adapt again when you unlock Yasuke, because Noe is so lithe and fast, and then Yasuke is just this fucking walking tank that's like...
he's just a powerhouse, isn't he?
Yeah, I didn't really like playing as him, was the issue.
Yeah, I
hate all that time for him, and I don't want to play as him. I spent the entire game as Noe.
When I had the option, I kept switching back to Noe, to the point where I'd switch back to him and I'd be like, oh, I forgot he had this weapon. Or because I just wanted to play as Noe, and I thought this would have been good. This would have been just as good if I'd have just had Noe and Yasuke had been a prominent
side
character, or even like Freedom Cry, where you get his own DLC or whatever.
Yeah. No, that'd work.
I liked him, but he felt so... He kind of feels like the antithesis to what Assassin's Creed is. Like, because he's like, you can't even really stealth. You like smash through doors. You can't climb. When you drop into hay, he just fucking drops on his ass into the hay.
He looks so awkward at times.
Like you can sneak up on three guys as Noe and do like a chain assassination, whereas Yasuke just steps out and is like,
he shouts when he assassinates them, doesn't he? He shouts and they all look at him.
Yeah, and it's like I like, it's funny and it makes you play it differently, but I don't really want to play an Assassin's Creed. But like we said about Black Flag before with you guys, this is like that with me. I don't want to play Assassin's Creed as a big walking tank with like massive armor and stuff. It felt a bit weird. Yeah. But overall, I think the game's brilliant. I don't think it's as good as Valhalla, but I think it's probably better than Odyssey.
It's the sense of place in this, and like the changing seasons, and just
I like that,
soaking in that world.
Oh, it's stunning!
It's unbelievable,
absolutely stunning. And again, like you said, it's a game I go back to now and then and just potter around. And
it's perfect to dip into for an hour, isn't it? Go and tick off a few of these. And
I think the world and the characters are good. I think the collectible stuff, the way it's like spread around the world, is fun to find.
See, I'm slightly controversial here. Is I don't like the setting. For whatever reason, I just don't find feudal Japan as a setting particularly interesting. And I know it's the one that people have been asking for years.
Yeah, I really
get
like
it.
that.
I just don't. I don't really like it, and I found the non-linear narrative. You know, the way you can sort of choose which
swap and change between targets. And
it basically meant I didn't care about any of them. I didn't pay attention to any. It's not like Valhalla where you go to one of them and you lock in for like a saga. Valhalla is basically a saga, isn't it? Made up of lots of smaller stories, which take like 5 or 6 hours a pop. I didn't get the same feel with Shadows. I just felt like I was passing through and didn't really. I couldn't tell you anything that happened in the story or any of the characters in Shadows. I just don't remember any of it. And I played that most recent.
I thought I really enjoyed the story to Shadows because it
didn't end properly either.
It's very similar to the way Yote does the story.
Oh yeah, I mean Yote does it much better, I would say. But
I don't know if it does it much better. I think it's more. I think the story in Yote is more coherent and more clearly told.
But Shadows didn't have a proper ending. I remember people complaining about that at the time because there's all that stuff with her mum, isn't there? And you sort of get to the end, and it sort of starts telling you what's going to happen or what's happening, and then it just ends.
Kind of peters out.
Yeah, and now they've just announced the final DLC,
update,
which finishes the story, and it's like,
Valhalla did too, to be fair.
Yeah, but that's still not. It's still not it's a Ubisoft thing to do that, and it's really fucking annoying. Just finish the story, and then do DLC as extra stuff, knock around stuff, side missions, whatever you want to do, but finish the story in the game that we're playing, and it is a bit frustrating. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably maybe it's a C because it's.
I would go C for it for just.
I mean, I think C feels a little too harsh on it.
It does for me. It feels harsh and it might just be recency bias because it's the most recent one I played, and I really liked it. Like I scored it high. I played a lot of hours of it. I've gone back. I went back. I haven't done any DLC, but I went back for like post story pissing about and I thought the story and the characters were really strong. I thought the lineup of villains that you're hunting down, I thought that was interesting.
You could drag in your companions as well, couldn't you? As you're making those friends out of the story, they can come and affect battles you were having. And
I do think that it was a game that when I played Yote, and it was such a similar setup, but then I found Yote a better overall game. Like I prefer Yote to Shadows. Yote was a 10 out of 10, and I think I gave Shadows a 9 or a 9.5 when I reviewed. So like there was a difference. I don't know. C feels harsh, but then what did we give Valhalla?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Just see where these are sat now.
So Origins was a B.
Yeah.
Odyssey was a C.
Yeah.
Valhalla was an A. That's the 3 RPG ones.
I think B feels right for this. I think C is a little too harsh on it.
Maybe B is right, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's at least on par with Origins.
I'd put it below, but not by much.
Yeah, and it's above Odyssey for me, and overall, I don't think they're bad games, but I think overall, I'd say B. I feel better with a B.
Yeah, fine. What about Naue and Yasuke?
Well, again, I think Naue is the better protagonist. I think
they're quite fun together.
Yeah, I think they do well together. I think Yasuke's story is just as interesting.
Oh yeah.
I know they sort of embellished the actual tale of Yasuke a little bit for the game and whatever, but I think his story's more is as interesting. I just don't like playing as him as much.
Yeah.
Like you said, he plays off Naue really well. I think their relationship is great. I think that the story of them two going up together is really good. But I think she's way more interesting. She's way more fun to play as because she's a ninja.
Yeah,
and it's just a cooler way to play the game.
And that's exactly what you want. As soon as you saw it announced, that's how you want to play the game.
Yeah. So I think
B again.
I think
C.
I think are we doing them both together as protagonists or separately?
You can do them separately if you want.
If you did them separately, I'd do B and C. B for Naue and C for Yasuke.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, I think so. There we go. That's what 15 Assassin's Creed games, objectively tiered and ranked.
I didn't know there were that many.
I mean, we didn't do the side-scrolling ones.
No, they're quite good actually, or Freedom Cry. Yeah, I thought China, India, and Russia were all right. I think they were a bit throwaway, and everybody
I like the idea of them more than playing them.
Yeah, I think China and India were better than. I think Russia was the one that I found boring.
Do the stories fit in canonically anywhere?
It all does somewhere.
It will tie up,
It all slots into the overall arc of Assassin's Creed, but nobody knows it.
unless you watch a big video.
Yeah,
which I'm surprised you haven't, Steve. Because
to be fair, I probably have, but I was falling asleep at 3 a.m. So who knows?
Somebody will have done a 4-hour Assassin's Creed deep dive.
Is that just the first 3 games? Yeah.
Probably. But somebody will have done a
17-hour epic.
Somebody will have done Altair to Noé.
Have we got any predictions for where Resynced's going to sit?
What, in terms of tiers?
I think it's impossible, really, because I've heard a couple of mixed things about it from people who played the preview. And I don't believe that they're going for... I don't think this is a game that's going to be like A tier off the bat. I think it's going to be good. I think I'm going to love it. I think I'm going to really enjoy it because I'm a fan of the original.
Yeah, and you're definitely going to enjoy
I'm looking forward to that stuff. But I think Ubisoft are they're going to do some proof of concept stuff in this. They're going to do some experimentation with mechanics and things. And this is a safe bed to do that because Black Flag is, like I said, it's widely considered to be one of the better games. It's already got a massive sort of fan base and following of people that want to play the resynced version. So it's a safe place for Ubisoft to
tweak and play around,
to tweak and experiment things a bit. I think so. I think that's what they're going to do.
In stuff from the other games, like with the weather systems, and I think is the day and night cycle running in real time.
Yeah, it's a day and night cycle now.
So you've got things that they're kind of bringing back from those.
Yeah. I think it's going to be brilliant. I think I'm really going to like it. I don't think it's going to I don't think it's going to be on anyone's like goatee consideration necessarily. I just don't feel that it will. I just think it looks gorgeous. I think I'm gonna fucking love it, and I think a lot of people who are like me will love it. But I don't know.
Looking forward to how they revamp combat.
I just want to play it because it's more Assassin's Creed.
It's going to be much more malleable than
I'd be surprised. I mean, I don't think I would never have scored any Assassin's Creed low. Do you know what I mean? I think this is one of my favourite franchises, and I don't care what the naysayers will tell me. I love it.
It's great.
So I think Black. I'm going to love Resynced regardless. But if I wanted to predict a tier, I would safely say it's going in B.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna
the safety of a B.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change anyone's opinions about like some of the mechanical things around new Assassin's Creed. I don't think.
Yeah. Is it coming to Switch too?
Not that I've seen, which is a shame because Shadows got the port in the same year of release for Shadows, and that's a really good port.
It's a great port. Yeah,
which I'd be surprised if it doesn't sneak its way over.
I'm sure it will.
But yeah, there you go. We've ranked all the Assassin's Creed games, bar the side-scrolling ones and Freedom Cry.
What's our definitive winner then, by the way?
Oh yeah,
probably 2.
Let's put that out there.
2 is the only one that got an S rank.
I think Ezio's the only character that got an S, isn't he?
He got 3 S's.
Yeah,
he got it per game.
Yeah.
So there we go. So if you're going to go and play one, play AC2.
So quite unsurprisingly, I think.
Yeah,
because that is roundly considered the best of the series. But yeah, I'm glad I managed to fight Black Flag into an A at least.
I know you've done well there, considering me and Steve were here.
Yeah, well, look, Adam would have savaged me if I'd let you go any lower than A because he's like me. For me and him, it's the pinnacle of the series. Even including all the games that came after. It's my favourite by such a long margin. And
pretty soon you can enjoy it all again.
Looking forward to it. I've been enjoying it again. I've been playing it. I've re-downloaded it on PS5 because it's on. They're all on PS Plus because of Ubisoft Connect. They're all on Game Pass because of Ubisoft Connect. They're just. I think every game up to like. I don't think you can play Liberation anymore. Is it Liberation? It's Liberation, isn't it?
Liberation's the
yeah.
I don't think 3.5.
Yeah, I don't think that's on there, but I think Freedom Cry's on both services and I think I don't know, if you haven't played an Assassin's Creed by now, you probably are never going to, because there's a reason you haven't played one. But I don't suspect anybody's really on the fence, but if you are, just fucking dip into one, because some of them are brilliant.
I want to replay Valhalla now, but I haven't got time.
No,
like 60 hours.
I reinstalled Valhalla last year and I didn't have time, and then I reinstalled. Well, my lads were both playing Odyssey on the Xbox for a while, and I sort of dabbled a bit in that, and I was like, I just haven't got 120 hours or whatever to put into an Assassin's Creed game. It's why I haven't really gone back to Shadows properly. I've just dipped in and out when I'm bored, and it's because I've kept it updated and on my desktop, and every now and again I'll go in and play a bit. And
it's one of those series where you'll always see like the complete or ultimate edition, and it's down to like $12.99, and I'm always like, fuck it, I'm going to buy it and do all the DLC. Then I buy it and go, I haven't got time for that shit.
Yeah, it's like I've done it.
At least I've got it.
I get this. It's always like the drought period, 1 or 2 drought periods a year. I'll install stuff like an Assassin's Creed or a Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk again, and I'll play like an hour, and I'll be like, yeah, this is so good. And then a review game will drop, and I'll just be off it again. And then it's it gets deleted to make space on the hard drive or whatever on PlayStation, and
it's like, I'll see you in 6 months' time again.
There's too many games, guys. Let's be honest. I mean, especially if you're doing what we do and you've got access to stuff. I got like one of the Epic accounts, which is like a press account, and then like we've got a Steam library that we share, and PS Plus and Game Pass together. There's too many games. We have access to like 6,000 games or something. And it's
choice paralysis time.
It is. And all the time, every Christmas, I have a game that I just play. Every Christmas, I do this. I get to the end of the year and be like, what haven't I played? Last year or the year before, it was like Death Stranding, and I did like Horizon Forbidden West and the DLC. And I like 1 year I platinumed Control because I wanted to go back to it. And like I do that every year, but throughout the year, I'll just install, delete. But anyway, rambling like I do. I think we'll wrap it up there. We're going to go and do the bonus, and we're just going to have a chit-chat in the bonus, because as I said, I've got a Switch 2, which is interesting, because I'm not anti-Nintendo, but I'm not pro-Nintendo, really. Like,
you're not a first-party Nintendo kind of guy, are you?
I don't do Nintendo first-party generally. Like, I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I'll play a Mario for a few hours. I want to play Donkey Kong. Like, I'll dip into those things, but I'm not I don't like Pikmin and things like that. It's not my jam. But I'll play the dozens of ports that are coming up this year for things like Elden Ring and stuff, which are on the horizon. And I want to review them, so that's partly why I bought them.
And now you're finally ready for Dustbloods, Mick, as well.
I'm ready for Dustbloods. The playtest of that is soon. I still don't believe that game's coming this year, but it might. We'll see.
If it does, at least you're ready.
We'll see. And then I'm ready for the real pièce de résistance, which is the Monster Hunter Wilds port next year. So, here
we go again.
Which I will play again all the way through, like I did with World and Rise, and it's any road.
Every time Capcom do this to us, don't they? Every fucking time.
Yeah, and every time we just play it again and again and again.
You're giving away the bonus material here, lads.
Oh, yeah, sorry, we are. Yes, this is Patreon owners paywall. So go back and erase that from your minds and go and jump into the Patreon, and you can see our bonus stuff. This has been a podcast.
It certainly has.
I cannot disagree.
Strong ending. Sorry. This goes out on what day does this go out on now? Adam puts it out on a Friday,
Friday for anyone.
Friday for the Patreons, is it? And then Monday for everyone else. And then the Patreons get the bonus pod on a Wednesday, which is Patreon only, and it's always a chuckle. I think does quite well on the Patreons, actually. I think people seem to quite like it. So But I mean, they think it's the best thing ever, which
It's
is why
been
you
said.
should. Yeah, which is why you should jump into it. But in the meantime, I've been Mick Fraser. He's been Kieran Singh. He's been Steve Chambers. This was a pod all about Assassin's Creed, and you guys have been lovely. Bye.